Welcome back if you're returning. Today's video is a before and after video. This is the bedroom upstairs. Now this was one of our son's rooms, and he was there for about a year, and when he moved out he left the bed and some bits of furniture, and it just kind of got turned into a dumping ground. Now, before Christmas, if you remember, we were having visitors all over Christmas, so I needed to do all the bedrooms, and I gave them all a lovely refresh. And I set this room up really beautifully, put the velvet curtains up, loads of Christmas pictures, lovely Christmas bedding. Well, since then, this has happened to it. We've moved furniture into here, we've moved furniture out. We've had mattresses which are on the bed, chairs are on top of the mattresses on the bed, and then there's bedding everywhere. It's a mess. So I had to sort out of some of my materials, and I decided to give this a really lovely cozy cottage feel. So like I said, I had a wardrobe in here. I took the wardrobe out and I've put it in my craft room, and I've been sorting out all my materials and getting everything ready. So I used a lot of it in this bedroom. I've got, obviously I have areas that I have my toiles, and I have my velvets, and then I have all my neck curtains. So while I was sorting, I decided I would give this room a nice new look, actually with the bedding that I'd had downstairs previously, which was my sort of French country toile feel. So let's get started and see what we've done to make this room into a lovely cozy cottage. So these curtains were two panels that I bought separately. The first panel I got, I think it is a famous name. I can't think what it is right now. It's beautiful, a lovely thick cotton material, and it's lined. And I love the navy in the background, and then the floral, the white floral. So I picked up one panel from Goodwill one day for $6.99, and about 2 weeks later I found the other panel at another Goodwill for $7.99, so ended up with both panels. I really love the way they look in this room. This room is a very, very light blue, so it works perfectly. I did add these two panels. These are IKEA net curtains, the floral on them, and I got these for a couple of dollars from my local thrift store. So far I've spent less than $20 for this window, and it looks lovely. I'm really pleased with how it looks. So I'm going to be adding something to this headboard, and I have this lovely thick toile material. This is a lovely big piece that it was the end of a roll I got a couple of years ago now, but I've been waiting for the right job. I was going to use this on the headboard, and then this is a nice bed skirt which will cover up. This is like an IKEA bed. It's very dark and it has drawers underneath, which is very handy, but I just don't like the look of it. The picture will be leaving. I'm leaving the shelves as it is. The ribbons with the pictures on the either side of the headboard, those will be going. But other than that, obviously the carpet's staying the same, the walls are staying the same. These pictures will be going because I'm going to be hanging up the crown with the curtains like I said, that I had downstairs previously. The baskets will be staying in the room because they're really handy. So the baskets are going to stay there, I've decided, and I've moved a few things around, and I liked this plan was the best, with the side table on one side. I brought the fireplace up from the other room. I'm going to be keeping that in here to help to give it that cottage feel. If you can see, there's a light. We have no lights in any of the rooms upstairs. Any of the rooms in the house, very few of them had ceiling lights, but the bedrooms especially. So we have this panel light that we use. It needs to be fitted up on the ceiling. Until then, it's on a hook on the wall, which I'm leaving, because you do need the extra light in these rooms. So what I've done with the headboard, and of course Dudley was helping me, he's always there to help me, he's such a good assistant, as you can see. I've wrapped it in wallpaper, literally just put a sheet from side to side, stuck it at the back with masking tape, and then I'm going to add another piece on top and wrap it like a gift. Stick it down with the masking tape. That way it doesn't do any damage to the headboard, but it covers it up and just camouflages it enough to fit with the room and the decor a little better. And of course this is the wallpaper that I've come out of our bedroom downstairs. Now, because of the theme of the room, which is cottage, French country, English country, I'm going to attempt to make a true mirror from this old mirror that I have. It's with a bit of moulding, a bit of wallpaper. I'm going to paint it. Start off painting it this light blue, chalk paint, and then decide to change it to a darker blue, which matches the wallpaper that I'm inserting in the top of this. So going to get on with that. Literally, I'm just going to paint it up, add a couple of pieces of moulding and the wallpaper, and then we'll come back to that afterwards. In the meantime, I've been going through my stash to get some decorative bits to hang on the wall, because the walls are the biggest thing to fill in this room. So I have these little statuettes, which are like a moulded plastic. They're very ugly and they're very gaudy with the horrible gold colour. I have this little wall shelf. I don't know what it would be for, just for little things to sit on. It's only a small shelf. I'm going to add a little bit of gold to that, just to brighten it up and make it match the other items in the room and give it that antique finish. And then I'm going to take the little cherubs that I have there, and I'm going to add a little bit of black paint to them, and then go over them with a little bit more gold and take the shine off them and make them look a little bit more antiqued. Again, the same process I use on everything, adding the gold and then brushing it back off. It's very easy. You've seen me do this time and time again. So you can see I'm just adding the black chalk paint, rubbing it off with a damp cloth, adding some back in, and then once I'm done and I've got it all the little nooks and crannies, I'm going to go back over it with a little bit more of the rub and buff in the gold and just add it to the higher parts again to bring back a few bits of the shine. Now this little plaster piece, I went through quite a process with this. I liked it because I wanted to use it as a decorative piece on the wall, but I didn't like the white because it was like a white chalk on it. I didn't want to go completely gold. I wanted it to have a really old look to it. So I started out with the black and thought I'll try that and see how that looks, but I wasn't happy with that. In the end, what I ended up doing was painting it all gold. And then I went back over it with the black, and then when I went back over it again with the green to give it a verdigris look, so it's like had more of a patina. By the end of it, it looked really quite coppery and very aged, and it looks so much better. It was quite the process, you know. It's just adding paint, taking paint away, but at the end of it I was really pleased with how it turned out. So please forgive me for the creases in this crown. I'd had it in the bedroom downstairs, and when I replaced the headboard and put a new crown up, I rolled it up and put it in a box. When my husband put it up for me, I thought what I'll do is once it's up, I will steam it and it'll work perfectly. It's how I do all my curtains. Today is the day my steamer decided it wasn't going to work. So I got the iron out and I did try to iron it. Honestly, I did. So please don't comment that I didn't iron it. I did try. I got some of the creases out. It is not perfect, but I did try. I couldn't take it down once it was up because it was too difficult. But let's move on. I've had this room divider for quite a while. It's a lovely old antique piece. I've had it in the bathroom. I put it in front of the window on occasion. I wanted to use this to disguise the light that we've got hanging in this corner. So I've got these lovely net curtains that I picked up ages and ages ago, and they've got like 2 layers on them, and there was just enough to fit all 3 panels. It was the same length as the tallest panel. So what I did was these slot out. I put panels in top and the bottom of each of the curtains. I cut the curtain into 3 parts and then replaced the screen fabric with the net curtain, and well, you just wait and see how nicely it turned out. So the bedside table, I've got quite a few of these dotted around the house, but this one was one, it was literally at Christmas time I needed a bedside table. This was an old tray that I picked up. I think I must have got it from like the dollar store years ago. It's a metal tray, sprayed it gold, screwed it directly into this old base that I had. It even sat outside during the summer. I used it outside, bought it in, screwed them together and made myself a really nice side table for the lamp, and it worked perfectly. What I wanted to do was add a little bit of colour to the room with the pink. I love to see pink and blue. And so what I've done is taken this taffeta. This is the taffeta from the bed crown in my bedroom. I am adding a pleated trim, pleating all around the top. I'm not sewing a hem, I'm cutting it to fray it, and then I'm going to glue it directly to the underneath of the tray, just so a little bit of the pleating and the frayed edge is showing, and I'm going to do that all the way around. So next job is a lampshade, and it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't make a lampshade. I think I've come to the conclusion every one of my videos I make a lampshade. I'm obsessed with them. When you look at the price of them when you go out, I will never buy a new lamp or lampshade again. I'm always going to do this, and I'm always going to have them to match whatever I do in whatever room. Anyway, this one did the same thing. This was some scraps of toile that I've had sitting around, and I have just glued them all down and then added some pink velvet ribbon around all the edges, and voila, another lampshade. This was a picture frame that I recently thrifted. The glass I broke accidentally, so I've taken this piece of backing and I'm going to attach the picture to it. This was from a recent haul also. I'm going to stick it directly to the backing, and that way it'll sit nice and flat in the picture frame without the glass in it. And then this is going in the shelf in the bedroom. So here we are, the bedroom, now that it's been completed. I wanted to add more shelves in and a few more pieces, which I will do over time, but I just wanted to get this finished to get the video out. So it's not exactly as it's going to be over the next little while. I will be adding more things to the room. Like I said, there's more mirrors to go up, and there's more artwork to go up, and couple more shelves and a few of my little vintage collections, but I will show you those over the next few weeks. But all in all, this room has turned out so lovely. As you know, I'm not one for light colours. I like colours and I like wallpaper, and under normal circumstances, if this was my house, I would have done that. But this was just a quick couple of days, just fixing it up to make it presentable and a nice cosy spot for people to rest their heads should they be staying for the night. There's that little picture, that the last thing that I made. But It's nice to have a pop of colour. I love that red on the wall and the pink on the side table. I might at some point, this is a little thing that I picked up recently in a thrift haul. I'll be doing that thrift haul next week. I've got a couple of really amazing finds, so that'll be next week's video. But that little girl was I just thought she was so lovely, and she's lovely in that little nook there. That was just a little nook that was a pass-through previously, and I just put the wallpaper in the back. Again, added that little shelf up on the wall. This was originally the way the room was set up. So like I said, I left a lot of it the same, but just added in the extra little pieces. The mirror turned out really nicely. I'm quite pleased with that, considering it took me 5 minutes and it was just a matter of gluing a couple of things on it. This little chair, two-seater chair, I've had forever. I might refinish that at some point, but I really liked a bit of a contrast in the room with the colours. Again, I got out lots of wall art and just put it up on the wall. A lot of it actually was just to cover spaces that my son had a big screen TV up on the wall, and he had art. It was mad. So I was covering up a lot of big holes that I've got to get round to refilling. But for the time being, I love to see a wall with lots of artwork on it. Again, I told you I'd pulled up this little fireplace just to add that element, that vintage element. And then what I've done is I've added the little basket of flowers in until I can find a proper little insert to give it the appearance of a little fire. But that little metal grate was something I'd picked up just after COVID. I have it in a previous haul from a couple of years ago, but again, it really adds that cottagey feel to the bedroom. So here it is, that room divider. You can see how beautiful it's turned out. It's worked exactly how I wanted it to. That bloody light, I hate it, but we need it at the moment in the room until it can go up on the ceiling at the top of the wall. This room divider with the net curtains in just diffuses the light, and it just looks so nice. Again, the contrast with the chair and the curtains is just lovely. What I would like to do with the that room divider eventually with the net curtains is I've got some little beautiful silk scarves, and I'd like to pin them to it as sort of a display area. This is that little picture which I think goes lovely in this little corner. This little shelf was something I'd picked up on a recent thrift haul for a couple of dollars. I've got a couple of vintage hats on there with an umbrella, and there's the lampshade in all its glory. So this is the headboard, and you can see it just blends in nicely. Not that you can see it terribly well with all the pillows, but I did have a couple of old vintage pillows that I had with the little pink florals on again. Just had a pop of colour. And of course this bedding came from my room downstairs. I won't be using it this summer because I've changed the headboard, but it's going to be perfect in here. It looks so lovely. I'm so pleased with it. I love how these curtains turned out. I've got to be honest, I wasn't certain they were going to look right, but once they were up, I think if it had been the other way round and the backing had been white and the flowers had been blue, I think it might have been too much. But because tonally there's lots of whites, there's lots of navies, and then the light blue, it all works together. hope you enjoyed that little makeover, and it just goes to show you don't have to spend a fortune. Everything was thrifted previously or within the last little while, and or came from around the house, and it was either made over or used before or DIY'd. So I hope you have a great week. You're all happy and healthy. Have a lovely Valentine's Day, and I'll see you next weekend for a really fantastic thrift haul that I have. So I'll see you next week. Have a great week.